Massage à la Brutal by Phil Wingfield. The protagonists in this tale are myself, Phil Wingfield, my brother, Dave Allen or Bro Dave, Liam Ferguson, and my good friend Dave Jacko Jackson. This is a short story of a massage inflicted on Jacko in a small parlour on Jew Island in the northwest Indian state of Gujarat. It was a massage, but not as we know it. You may find it amusing, and possibly disturbing, but mostly amusing, I hope. Jew Island, 26th of October 2017. In the shadow, at certain times of the day, of the imposing and bright orange walls of the old Jew fort, lies a huddle of small buildings, consisting of a few temples, a smithy, and a massage parlour stroke barber shop called Manor Massage. Every time we pass, Mr. Manor, I don't know his real name, tries to get us in. We have run into him around the island too. When not chancing for business at his premises, he's out on his moped distributing business cards and offering on-the-spot services. There is no escape from Mr. Manor. But today's the day. Jacko has talked about trying this out since we got here, and we are at the do it or shut the hell up about it stage. Bro Dave and Liam have decided to give it a go too. We arrive to find Mr. Manor open with no customers. He also has an assistant, though not of the glamorous variety. I am giving the whole thing a swerve. Besides, Dave wants me to video his massage to get it replicated at home. Or so he claimed. However, in retrospect, I'm not sure replication is possible, advisable, or even legal. Except maybe in one of those exclusive specialist clubs for individuals with unusual tastes. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The parlour is small and divided into two sections. At the front, a strip 2 metres deep runs the entire width of the building, culminating in a small alcove at either end. Each alcove contains a barber's chair facing a tall wall-mounted mirror, plus shelves and a small cupboards stocked with a bewildering variety of massage lotions, barber oils and such like. Other than the alcoves, the frontage opens directly onto the street. Through a single door in a thin partition wall, the rear section is a small room where two old dark wood double beds take up most of the floor space. They fit so snugly, it's almost as if the room was built around them. The only floor space is a strip directly behind and the same width as the door. Wall-mounted cupboards and shelves house another impressive selection of oils and potions. And whatever Mr. Jackson has signed up for, this is where it's happening. Mr. Manor ushers us in and closes the door. I sit on the edge of a bed and get my camera ready. Dave strips to the waist and lays face down on the other. This is a massage, yes? Just checking. Mr. Manor starts on the back and neck. From his impressive selection of bottles and tubs, it adds some oils and a sickly-looking green paste. Pesto. Mr. Manor kneels on the bed next to Dave and gets to work. I film what passes for the action. It's a bit dull, to be honest, but I believe Mr. Manor read my mind. Adding more oils, Mr. Manor stands on the bed before stepping onto Dave's back. With one foot planted at the base of the spine, he slides the other up and down the back. He's not a big guy, but even so. Mr. Manor puts as much body weight on the moving foot as possible, using a line strung across the room to steady himself and shift his weight. This new procedure has an effect, but I'm not sure if it's a desirable one. What's that, mate? Tickling, is it? For the next few minutes, the back and shoulders get a damn good footing. I notice the static foot slipping down towards an area of extreme pain possibilities. You never know, there might be 200 quid in this film. Partway through the procedure, Mr. Manor gets a call, which he answers, and has a little chat without breaking stride, or slide. Chinwag finished, he climbs down and gives the back a short going over using the heels of his hands, and again putting as much of his body weight through them as possible. Stepping back onto the bed, Mr. Manor chooses the next body part for manipulation. Standing on the back of Dave's thigh and putting his weight through the heel, he sidesteps up and down the muscle. Dave arches his back and lets out an unambiguous cry. The thigh shuffle is mercifully short. Let's face it, no one wants to see a grown man cry. Or so I thought. Mr. Manor kneels on the bed again and starts to work on the calves. By the look of it, he's trying to separate the calf muscle from the bone. Maybe there is someone who wants to see a grown man cry. He's getting there. Mr. Manor then turns to me and holds out a hand and says, "Dolphin." "What?" say I. "Dolphin," says he again, pointing over my head. Making a quizzical face, I point at my camera. "I don't know what you're on about, but I'm making a record of this madness." So standing up, he retrieves something from a shelf above my head. A large, red, plastic, dolphin-shaped something. Oh, of course, dolphin. Why didn't you just say? This dolphin is a mains-powered handheld massager. Usually they are plain black. It's around 18 inches long, slightly curved, and widens out from the hand grip to the massage head, which is usually a pad of knobbly rubber pins or something. Yes, it does sound dodgy. If you're not familiar with these things, the story may lose some of its impact, so it might be an idea to Google dolphin massager or vibrating dolphin massager before reading on, but not dolphin vibrator. That will give entirely the wrong impression. The advent of Flipper makes filming a challenge. I have trouble containing myself. I could do with a steady cam to iron out the shaking. Flipper is put to work on both buttocks before moving to the middle position. Mr. Manor leans forward and applies as much pressure as he can while pushing the dolphin's snout where no snout should ever be pushed, before moving on to the inner thigh and calves. All this is quite evidently not tickling Dave. Moving on to the feet now, Dave is still wearing trainers, but this does not deter Mr. Manor or the pulsating porpoise. So now we are massaging the sole of a trainer with a red plastic vibrating dolphin. This is surreal, and by the looks of it, quite ticklish. Then it's the turn of the calves and thighs, and judging by Dave's reaction, winners all. But then, sadly, we are done with the dolphin. It's a pity. I was enjoying that. I'm not so sure about Dave, though. Mr. Manor shouts something to his assistant outside. A few seconds later, the door opens and a small sachet comes flying in and lands on the bed. For one horrible moment, I thought it was a condom. Mr. Manor shows it to the camera for approval. It's not a Johnny, but all the text is in Gujarati, and I haven't a clue what he's showing me. Hair oil, fish oil, motor oil, snake oil, who knows? Mr. Manor empties the sachet over Dave's head and gives him the most unusual massage. There's no pain. Dave looks to be enjoying it. Well, this is new, but it doesn't last. It appears that we are done with the backroom shenanigans. Mr. Manor shows us out and sits Dave in one of the barber chairs. As we leave, Liam enters with the assistant. I look at him and say, "Beware the dolphin," before the door closes on his puzzled expression. Bro Dave is in the other barber chair. Naively expecting it to be pleasant and relaxing, he curtailed his massage a while ago. I'm not sure how long he endured or what treatments were applied. Mr. Manor rummages through a cupboard and fishes out what looks like a power tool. It even has the giveaway orange mains lead. A bizarre-looking thing consisting of an electric motor mounted on a metal plate and two pairs of slim arched metal strips on the underside. Whatever this thing is, it would look more at home on a building site than here. Mr. Manor puts his hand palm down through the strips, gripping one with his thumb, and turns the thing on. Throwing into life, it makes a deep vibrating sound. Mr. Manor presses the metal strips onto Dave's scalp and runs them over his head, neck, shoulders and arms. This must be karmic retribution for that pleasant head, neck and shoulder massage a few minutes ago. The parlour resonates with the sound of the Dominator, but I think I can hear the dolphin in the back room and have a little smile to myself. Mr. Manor pumps the chair a little higher and grabs a towel. Placing his hand inside the folds, he holds the towel close to Dave's head and leans in until his forehead is against Dave's temple. He has a look of intense concentration on his face. A slight movement under the towel produces a high-pitched squeal from Dave. I can see his screwed-up face in the mirror. I think it's the ear getting it in the neck. Mr. Manor repeats the procedure once more on the same ear, but for some reason spares the other. Standing behind the chair, Mr. Manor puts his right arm around the front of Dave's face and takes hold of the left side of his head. With his left hand, he applies steadying pressure to the back of the neck. This stance is familiar. I've seen it in a number of films, just prior to some unfortunate soul having their neck snapped from behind. And for the first time in this sadistic smorgasbord, Dave says no. We move on swiftly to another shoulder and neck massage. Mr. Manor opens a drawer and fishes out an aerosol can. Of course, it's so obvious. Pressing the can into Dave's shoulder and neck, Mr. Manor positions his shoulders directly over it to exert as much pressure as possible before somehow moving the can across the shoulder and neck without tearing the skin. Dave is really enjoying this. He can just tell. Revisiting the head, Mr. Manor thumps the skull, gently at first, with a soft underside of a fist. Then again with both fists together. Then using the top of the hand, knuckles down, the head gets another sound drubbing. Then we revisit the fist as before. but with increased speed and vigour. The cranium takes a damn good pasting. And then it's over. Just like that. As I turn off the camera, a thought occurs to me. An idea for a visionary ending to the film I just shot. What if, to finish the whole thing off, what if Mr. Manor had spun the chair around and clouted Dave right in the face? As if it were all part of the service. Yeah, that would have been funny. Oh, for everyone except Dave, of course. If only I'd have known how this massage would pan out. Money talks. I could have arranged that. Postscript. If this kind of thing is your kind of thing, then good luck to you, weirdo. Personally, I'll take the comfy padded table, a gorgeous masseuse, the heady aroma of incense, and a New Age concerto for burbling brook and harp any day. If I ever feel the need for a manor massage, I could throw myself down a flight of steps for free. Postscript. In the end, Dave never requested the video. Big surprise. However, I touted it around on the dark web, and a non-existent branch of the CIA have expressed interest. Massage à la Brutal was written and read by Phil Wingfield.